are going to give you and a friend a deal with a whole new spin. Now, with any purchase at participating Taco Bell locations, you can get a coupon for one free ticket to Universal Studios Hollywood. When you purchase an adult ticket at full price, that's right, you can bring a friend free. So go to Taco Bell, then head to Universal Studios for a full day of fun and the ride of your life on Back to the...
Right?
Okay, let's face it. I got here at 8. I ordered some pizza.
Right.
Because I didn't know we were starting so late. and you know, it took about 4 or 5 hours to do my hair.
Yeah.
I'm not going to move the whole night.
The thing in the Bruce Springsteen, I think all America saw that video where he whipped off the stage, went down to the audience, and he said, "You're the one I want to do the dancing with," right? He was doing that song, Dancing in the Dark. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that prearranged?
Yeah.
Yes, but that was really the first big break for you that got you going in showbiz, right?
Yes. I had only done 2 days on a soap opera and a New York telephone ad before that.
And did you have to audition for that part?
Yes.
And like go to the venue and sit in the audience and be screaming and cheering for Bruce Springsteen?
That's not where the audition took place. I had to audition in front of Brian De Palma, and I had to go into his office and dance alone, and which is really frightening. And that's when I got the job, and then we flew to St. Paul and shot the video.
Anyway, you're from Birmingham, Alabama. Mm-hmm. It's your home, and you don't have much of a Southern accent left.
No.
And I read that you went to a voice coach somewhere to learn how to speak without the Southern drawl.
Yeah.
And having lived in the South for 5 years, I can assure you I find it most attractive. How difficult was that for you to do?
It wasn't really that hard to lose the accent. I had to, obviously, for work, because I couldn't exactly play a girl from New York sounding the way I did. So
right.
That was actually one of my first auditions I went on, was to play a girl that was from the city, and I walked in and they said, it would never happen.
Oh, you mean, hi, y'all?
Yeah, I know. And I still actually say y'all, but that's probably the only Southern thing I say. But, I mean, not the only thing I say, it's just the only thing that sounds Southern, but I think it's such a great word, I will never lose that.
How about, like, I noticed you had with you one of your friends from Birmingham tonight,
right,
who's visiting you here in California. If you were to spend some time with her or go back to Birmingham for a week or two, would you find yourself lapsing back into that, do you think?
Yeah, I would have to spend a lot of time. It's actually harder for me to go back to it than it was to lose it. It's interesting. I have a hard time. I can only do, like, my mother's accent. At some point, you know, you have a Southern accent when you're younger, and then all of a sudden you become a mother, and it changes from just regular Southern drawl to this very high society, crazy-sounding accent.
Yeah, my dear, that sort of thing.
Well, you know, it's, oh, darling,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
You
left Birmingham at the age of 18, and what year would that be?
It was, what year was that? I left in 1982.
So you really didn't grow up in the time that Birmingham was going through the civil rights crisis,
right, no,
in the 1960s. But as you were growing up in Birmingham, did you have an awareness of that, of the history that had been made in Alabama and the South?
Yes, I did have an awareness, but it's interesting. I stick up for the South so much. I get really defensive about it, which is not great, but people, you know, don't realize that it's changed, and I get really frustrated when people think of it. You know, I've got
backwater,
yeah,
backwoods,
or, you know,
redneck.
I've got a lot of Jewish friends, and I have one Jewish friend that says, well, I can't go home with you. I mean, I invite him home for Christmas or something. And
You're kidding.
No, he just has this, you know, this view of the South, and it's not really, I wasn't exposed to that, you know, to the racism, like, obviously, that's down there, but I just wasn't exposed to it.
You know, the thing that I remember most about that time, because I lived there from 1957 to 65, actually, and this was at the height of the social revolution when apartheid segregation was going out. And I remember there was a woman on television in Atlanta, and Atlanta and Georgia tried very, very hard to avoid the divisions that had affected Mississippi and Alabama in the 1960s. She says, you know, she says, the difference between the way we view, and at that time the term was the colored, the way we view the colored in the South versus the North, she says, in the North, the black person, the black African-American race is viewed as beloved, but individually, these people are not much liked. In the South, the perception is that we hate all black people. We don't, and as a matter of fact, we love them as individuals because in the Old South, they were members of the family in a totally perverted way, to be sure, but they were beloved within the household in that perverted way. And I've never forgotten that. But anyway, when you did move to New York, what about the culture shock?
I guess the biggest culture shock was just the way people spoke to each other. I mean, in the South, there is something very real about Southern hospitality.
Correct. And civility.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could run out of gas on the side of the road, and you really will be invited in for fried chicken. It just that's what happens.
That's right, or to use the telephone, or to use the restroom.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
whereas in New York, excuse me, could you tell me where the Empire State Building is, or should I just go bleep myself?
Exactly. Yeah, some of my friends in New York, I remember I have this one girlfriend in New York that I used to work with, and I used to find, oh, there you go, sitting like that. I was wondering when you're going to do that again. Can we get a shot of that?
Sure they can. When I put my leg over the arm of the chair, it shows that I'm truly at home,
like this,
truly at ease.
Anyway, my girlfriend used to, I remember when I first met her, I was very intimidated by her because there was a lot of, what's your name?
Yeah,
I just didn't understand it all. Now she's...
A brusqueness to it. And when you moved to New York, you didn't have a job in showbiz right away, did you?
No.
No. What did you do when you first got there?
I moved there on my 18th birthday, I think it was, and I remember crying to my sister who lived in Washington, D.C., saying, oh my gosh, I just can't stand the city. I was really naive when I first moved there. I played the shell game on the street of New York and lost the money.
With the cards?
No, with the P and the
shells.
quads, yeah.
There's a woman who works in television. She is the executive producer of The Tonight Show starring Jay Leno. I shall not say her name, and she used to work for me in New York, with me in New York. She came in one Friday, she says, Tom, she says, I need about $500–600. I said, what's the matter? She said, I don't have any money. I said, what happened? She said, I played the card game on the street, the 3-card monte with the guys. And I said, are you out of your mind? I said, that's a scam. You can't beat those guys. I said, how long? She played for like 8 or 9 weeks at a time, lost $500 a week. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I caught on after an hour, but no, I just couldn't believe it.
Well, but she felt, because she said there's a girl there that wins all the time. I said, yeah, but she knows the guy that's playing the game, the shill. Yeah. So, wow. We will continue here with Courteney Cox, and if any of you still have telephones in working order, you're invited to join us at 800-95-CBS-TV. After a short break, you all hurry back. Here? We are back with Courteney, and here on the toll-free is John in DeKalb, Illinois. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Snyder.
Good evening, John. Please call me Tom. Thanks.
All righty. I have a quick question for Courteney.
Okay.
I'd like to know what it was like to work with James Carey.
James Carey, that's awfully distinguished for someone as crazy as he is. It was great. Jim he's hysterical. It was probably the most fun I've had on a job. He cracked me up the whole movie. That was the hardest part, actually, of the film, is not laughing at him.
And this was in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I beg your pardon, John?
Thanks for the comment, Courteney.
Okay, by the way, John.
Yes.
Isn't this a little late for you?
Oh, I'm in school right now, so I'm just starting to get studying, so.
All right, fine. Well, we're glad to help you through your studies, John, and crack the books now, kid.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
On to Michael, joining us from Wilmington, North Carolina. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Mike.
I was just wondering, Courteney, the cast of Friends seems to get along so well on camera. I was wondering what it was like off camera. Do you guys get along real well, and do you hang out a lot?
Yes, actually, we do. We're all really, really good friends. We hit off the second we met.
You're all pretty much the same age spectrum, aren't you? Late 20s, early 30s?
There's 2 people on the show, and I'm one of those people that are about, we're older than they are, than the rest of the cast.
What does that mean, you're older than?
Well, you know, there's a couple of 25-year-olds. There's like, I think, a 27-year-old, and I'm 30. And
Was that a big deal when you hit 30? I mean, was that...
Oh, 30 was huge.
Really?
Huge, yes.
In what way?
I don't know. I got really freaked out. 29 wasn't great, and then 30, on my birthday, I really lost it. I thought, this is just not a good year at all. I just didn't like it. Also, I'm from the South, and you grow up thinking there should, you know, by a certain point, you're doing a certain thing, and I hadn't reached any of those points yet, so...
Right, the goals were not reached at that time.
And, but then something changes. About 6 months into being 30, you actually love it, and all of a sudden you feel empowered by the fact that you're in your 30s now, and you really
you're an adult now, you're a responsible
woman
person.
now,
Yeah, exactly right.
I actually love it.
Michael, we're glad you called. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
In reading about you today, I find out that you and I have something in common, and that is house renovation. I've done that 3 or 4 times, and you have done it even more than that. That's you buy houses, fix them up, and then sell them.
Yes.
That's not an easy way to make a living.
No, it's not, but you can make a good living at it.
Yes, you can.
I think I made more money in fixing up houses and selling them than I have, well, not that I have now in acting, but for a while there, I was definitely...
Well, there was a time in California when a lot of people did that. They would buy a house for X and fix it up, and because prices were going up so rapidly, they could make good profits.
Oh, sure.
Those days are kind of over now.
Well, the frightening thing is that I don't do it really for that reason. I don't think, okay, I'm going to buy this house, I'm going to fix it up and move. I just get bored. So this is something that I do. I've had 4 houses in the last, I think, 7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, for anybody who's gone through renovation, it's a nightmare only because you're always in the 14th month of a 3-month job. It takes forever and ever because, you know, the plumbing contractor isn't ready. The fellow with the electricity, he's behind.
Oh, I know.
And it can be a nightmare if you're trying to, you know, have Christmas dinner, for example.
Right.
Here's Terry on the toll-free, Buffalo, New York. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Just to let you know, Tom, don't worry about those newspaper articles. And for Courtney, quick question. Did you enjoy working with Michael J. Fox, and will you be working with him again?
I don't know that I'll be working with them again, and that's just because I don't...
You can't predict the future.
Exactly. I was going to say
Not
that.
because you can't stand him or anything like that.
No, no, no. He's great. I loved working with him. He was... I learned so much from him. He's a very generous actor, and he's hysterical, and I actually learned probably the most from him as far as, especially for the job I'm doing now, than anyone.
Okay.
And before you go now, Terry, what about this Dan Aykroyd thing starting up again? What are we going to do about that?
Huh? What?
That, you know, that Dan Aykroyd thing over on NBC.
What about the Dan Aykroyd?
Oh, you didn't hear. He's doing me on Saturday Night Live again.
He doesn't do a bad job of you. But
All
you
right.
do a better job.
Terry, thanks for calling, okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Miss Cox, it's been a great pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
I know you think it's cold in here, but it's not. I know you're freezing.
I cannot wait to have the freedom to actually chatter, because I'm holding it back so much right now.
Okay, let it go.
Okay. I can't.
Oh.
I would if I wasn't going to smile. I'm telling you, I will be chattering any minute.
You're a delight to be with. We enjoy you on Friends, and thanks for joining us late here at CBS
Thank
tonight.
you.
My great pleasure. Courtney Cox, folks. Up next, an amazing story from a truly amazing woman, a person of great integrity. Kim Caldwell is up next after these messages.